A very good morning to all my lovely students. A very warm wishes to all of you for a new day, a new start, and a new chapter beginning that we're going to do from today, that is Indian Partnership Act. So I hope you all have revised and completed sale of goods. You have made your notes. You have done all the MCQs that are given in the study material. You should have gone through all the descriptive questions, and now we're going to have a fresh start with the new act, that is Indian Partnership Act 1932. Good morning, Khushi, Priti, Soumya, Ariharan, Madhu. Great. I'm glad you have revised the previous lectures. Very good, Madhu, Joya, Dheeraj, Abhishek, Anuj, Priyanka. Mr. Nanda R is asking how to start studying for direct questions for exams. So direct question means, for example, like in June 2023, the paper came. They asked you a straight away question, what is the difference between void and voidable contract? So if you'll see the first chapter of Indian Contract Act, the answer is given as it is in the study material. So children, you have to learn the points of differences. See, in law, understanding is one thing, but the learning part has to be done by you. If you just attend my lecture, you make your notes and you keep your books closed, nothing is going to happen. You have to open back your books, you have to revise it, you have to learn it. I'm not saying just mug it up, but samajhkar learn karna is very important. Otherwise, you tend to forget the things, but this does not happen in CA Foundation. Why? Because syllabus is not that vast as compared to CA Intern. So now if you keep on doing slowly and gradually, you keep revising, things get fed over here in your subconscious mind and you can easily attempt the paper. Good morning, Nishi, Shriya, Hitesh, Muskan, all of you. And also make sure that you make proper timetables for your studies. Good morning, everyone. Yes, Mr. Nishant, definitely you can do the topic from today as well. Nishta, I definitely remember we are left with one small topic, auction sale, which we're going to do today itself. But otherwise, we'll be starting with the Indian partnership and then we will move to our topic of auction sale. Good morning, Mr. Suraj. Okay, so apart from auction sale, any other doubts that the students are having? Mr. Shivam Prajapati says, ma'am, Hindi English mix में पढ़ाइए. So Shivam, don't worry, हम आज भी जो भी examples करेंगे मैं आपको हिंदी में भी एक बारी समझा दूंगी. But please मेरी request है बेटा, आप थोड़ा कोशिश कीजिए English समझने की, because जो बच्चे साउथ से हैं उनको हिंदी बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आती है. So हमें mixed language ही use करके चलना पड़ेगा, so that large category of students can be catered, ताकि आप सब लोग अच्छे से समझ पाएं. Very good, Anushka. If you're practicing descriptive questions, that is the best thing to do, and you must write it down and practice. Sakshi, writing means once you have seen the descriptive question in the last lecture, also I gave you the format. Write down the concerned provision, facts of the case, the summary from the question itself, and then write the conclusion. Trust me, students, CA Foundation, the only place in law where you lose marks is because of your writing. Learning also becomes very easy when you have revised it again and again. यहाँ पे जाके ना फीड हो जाता है वो. फिर आपको बैल्फोर वर्सेस बैल्फोर में अभी पूछूंगी, याद आ जाएगा, बिकॉज सर ने इतने अच्छे से आपको एग्जांपल बताया हुआ है बैल्फोर वर्सेस बैल्फोर क्या होता है. इसी तरह से आज हम केडी कामत, संती रंजन दास गुप्ता, 2 इंपॉर्टेंट केस लॉज हैं इंडियन पार्टनरशिप में, जो मैं आपको समझाऊंगी और वो बहुत ईजी हो जाएंगे आपको. बट इफ यू डोंट नो हाउ टू राइट इट in a question paper in the exam, then the trouble begins. So keep doing writing practices. Your first fundamental right is to understand what teacher is teaching, sit with a pencil and paper and keep making notes. Whatever examples I keep telling you now, in partnership, we'll be doing n number of examples, day-to-day stories. We'll be talking how the partners came, how the partners went, what did they do, what agreement was made. Keep writing down. मैम ने ये बोला था, A and B ने सेल करा, B ने ऐसे कहा. Keep writing down, keep making down short notes along with the teachers. Once you're done, make your fair notes. That is your second revision. After that, give it a fair third revision after the entire completion of syllabus. And then fourth is the day before your exam. Definitely the things become clearer and stronger. In between, writing practice will continue. Okay, so Mr. Karthik, I just explained to you how to make your own notes, and sometimes, yeah, it becomes vast, but then you have to revise it also. I just explained the strategy, how to do it. But Mr. Karthik, sections are not compulsory as far as CA Foundation is concerned. So you can leave the sections so far. Mr. Yash Shah, how to prepare along with class 12th. So your first priority should be for your board exams that are just coming up. So you should prepare for them along with that. Keep studying little bit part of the law, whatever we are doing in the class. And once you're done with your exams, around 8 to 10 hours every day, you should be giving to all the subjects together. Okay. All right. Sarjeet Kumar, all the lectures are there on the YouTube. You can refer to the ICAI portal as well. Okay. So, Miss Kajal, if you again the way you have to, Miss Soumya very rightly has mentioned, ma'am, I love the way you teach. So the way you have to love is the way you have to love, fall in love with your subject. So I keep telling the students that it becomes very, very easy for you when you start loving the subject. So moment I have opened the law book, I should tell myself that yes, I'm going to complete this chapter. Be happy about your subject, children. So yesterday somebody was saying, I'm CA students and it's Valentine's Day. Let's make our law books a Valentine's for the while. Let's be happy about what we are doing, what we are studying. Children, these are the great years of your life. You'll remember these years. Once you're putting a lot of hard work, आज आप पढ़ाई कर लोगे, कल को आप अपने ऑफिस में बैठे सीए बनकर बैठे होगे, लोग ऐसे सल्यूट करेंगे. Look, Mr. Anuj Kumar, CA Anuj Kumar is coming. Look, Anushka Raj, she is a chartered accountant. You will feel that proud within yourself once you'll get this name. So, in order, imagine yourself sitting in the offices. अपने आप को visualize success करा करो. Imagination दिया करो कि कल हम बहुत, renowned personality बन जाएंगे once we have done a chartered accountancy course. After that, you choose a line of auditing, taxation, teaching. That is up to you. But achieving that degree in your hand is the most important priority as of now. So try to be happy about your studies. Not ki our dad has asked me to do CA, that's why I'm doing it. It's so difficult, it's so tough. These negative thoughts, pick it up and throw it in the dustbin. If you're Harleen ma'am student, you're studying from me, none of you should have a negative thought. You all have to remember, yes, we can do it. And we should be happy about it. Students, let me tell you, this degree is going to give you lots and lots of respect in society. It's such a recognized and dignified course. So remember to respect your studies today in order to gain that respect tomorrow in the society. Always open your books with a happy face and be proud of yourself that I am going to be a chartered accountant soon. Yes, you can say this to yourself even from the beginning, from CA Foundation. You are laying down your foundation, the basis for this degree. So it's not that just a CA finalist has to remember that I'm going to be a CA tomorrow. Even from the foundation, the journey has begun. So keep reminding yourself that, yes, I'll be a chartered accountant once. All right. So with this, let's begin our partnership today. We are going to start with Chapter 3, Indian Partnership Act, the first Unit 1, that is general nature of partnership. Auction sale, once we are done with this, with half of the today's lecture, that is Indian Partnership Act, the first chapter, half chapter I'm going to do today and half we'll be taking on Saturday. So after this, around 12:30 or 12:45, we'll try to cover the topic of auction sale also. And any doubts left in Sale of Goods Act, you can send me the queries and doubts for the Sale of Goods Act also. But since it's a fresh day, a fresh start from the beginning, we're going to start with Indian partnership. And before I end the class, I'll give you time for auction sale and also the time for your Sale of Goods Act queries. So now leave the admin query box and come here. And thank you so much for writing beautiful words of motivation that you feel motivated attending these lectures. That is what our main motive is. And when a student enjoys studying from you, a teacher also feels the equal excitement to teach those students. Okay, so now let's begin with the Indian Partnership Act. So what is the meaning of partnership? First, we have to define every act. Whenever the moment we start the act, we start reading law, definition of that particular act becomes the most important. Can you see these 5 men whom I've shown? Artificial intelligence wala wo lag raha hai mujhe isme na, tie dali hui hai and faces, and they have kept their bags down and they have held their hands together that yes, tomorrow, today we are going to have a partnership with each other. They have come together to form an agreement that we will be doing business together. All right. So it becomes very, very important to understand, first of all, what is partnership all about. Partnership is the relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of the business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. So, Section 4 of the Indian Partnership Act defines, it tells you what is the partnership all about. So, if we try to break down it in the points, the definition, if you want to break down in the points, number one, it is the relationship between persons. If two strangers are going on a road, can you say they are partners? There has to be a relationship, there has to be a bonding, there has to be an agreement that they are sharing the profits of the business. So, first of all, there should be two or more persons. Can an individual have a partnership with himself? No, ma'am. So, what do we call an individual who is running a business? If Harleen ma'am has a store of grocery store where I'm selling all those chocolates and biscuits to you, and I'm the only person who is sitting in that shop and doing the business, then am I a partnership firm or what do you call me? What do you call this kind of form of organization where a single person is running the business and selling all the chocolates, biscuits, grocery store? What do you call that kind of organization? You call it sole proprietor. Very good. All those who have mentioned the same. It's known as sole proprietorship. And now this Mr. Ram, who is running this business, he's known as a sole proprietor. He has expanded his business to a very vast extent. And he feels so tired doing all the business on his own. So he thought that let me keep a boy who will help me in this office work, in my store work. And Mr. Ram kept Mr. Sham to assist him in his store. So can we say now Ram and Sham are partners? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? This Mr. Ram, who is running a grocery store, you have rightly mentioned he's a sole proprietor. Very well. Punita, Abhishek, Keshav, Renuka, Dheeraj, Divya, Preeti, Muskan, Anusa, very rightly mentioned, it's a sole proprietor. Now, if I've kept someone to help me, what does it mean? It will mean a partnership. Are you serious? Yes, Mr. Abdul. Thank you so much. It is still a sole proprietor. Very good, because he is simply an employee. Very excellent answers given by Shubham, Mohammad Farhan, S. Siddhakar, Nishi, Kush, Sagufta, Abhishek, Khushi, Ariharan. Yes, he's just a helper. There's no partnership. Very good. So once we are an individual who is running the business, organization is a sole proprietor. And if we have kept some helper, somebody who has been employed, it still continues to be a sole proprietor. Now, what do I need to convert it into a partnership for? Say, for example, Mr. Ram signed an agreement with Mr. Sham, this boy only whom he has kept. He was so fond of him. He said, why don't we sign an agreement and we become partners in a firm? Now, when Ram and Sham signed an agreement and they're sharing the profits of the firm and they're doing the business together, then this form of partnership organization is known as a partnership form of organization. Tomorrow, if they want to expand and open up a company, then they can either open up a private limited company because there are minimum two people, so they can open up a private limited company also. But can Ram and Sham open a public company also? Do you know how many minimum number of members are required for public company? Business studies, those who have done commerce in 11th, 12th must be knowing the answer to this. Can they open up a public limited company also? No, ma'am, they cannot open because minimum 7 members are required for the public limited company. All right. So now let us try to understand how the very good, very nice 50. Keshav Gupta is saying 50. No, it's not 50. The minimum number of members required for public company is 7. And there is no limit on the maximum limit of members in public limited company also. Okay, Tanvi says, but only if they have agreed to share the profits. That is absolutely correct, Tanvi Patel. Only if they have relationship, they have signed an agreement, they're going to share the profits, they're going to do the business together, and also if they have mutual agency. So अभी मैंने आपको बताया नहीं है mutual agency. I'll explain you what is mutual agency. That is how they will come into a relationship as a partner. All right. So this is what the different forms of organizations we have. And one of the form of organization is partnership. That is what we're going to study in detail in the next slide, the essential elements of the partnership. So the topics that we'll be covering in this chapter is essential elements. What are the characteristics of partnership? How the partnership is derived? Mr. Hemant, I'll just tell you the maximum number of partners. Yes, Mr. Suraj, they will also bear the loss, but the word profit is written. It means the profit and losses are inclusive of both the words. When we do that topic of sharing of profits, I'll explain you that point. Okay. So essential elements of partnership, how the characteristics is derived. That is the entire characteristics that we're going to discuss one by one. It is the entire definition of partnership, which is broken down into the essential characteristics. Then we will be discussing a true test of partnership. So I told you two important case laws that we're going to do in today's class. They help you to understand how a certain form of organization can be known as partnership. Because I just explained you, when I'm hiring a person, he's my employee, I'm still a sole proprietor. The moment we sign an agreement and at the characteristics of partnership are present, then it becomes a partnership. But the moment we registered ourselves as a company, then it's not a partnership, it's a company. So all these forms of organization, HUF, company, association of persons, partnership, they are different. So that is what we're going to understand, how they are different from other forms of organization. And then at the last, we'll be discussing about the types of partners. Are you an active partner, sleeping partner, how the partners in profits only come up? All these detailed discussion we'll be taking up in the types of partners. So let's break the elements of partnership into 5 different points. Number 1, partnership is an association of 2 or more persons. So can Mr. A alone open a partnership? No, ma'am, he cannot, because minimum 2 or more persons are required. But what is the maximum limit on partnership? Can we have 200 members in a firm? No, we cannot. Can we have 100 members, maximum 100 members? So the limit of maximum number of partners is nowhere written under Indian Partnership Act. Indian Partnership Act is silent about the maximum number of partners. So ma'am, then where it is written, section 464 of the Companies Act decides that the number of partners, maximum partners, should not be more than 100. But after Companies Act 2013 was amended, and this amendment came, after 2013, certain rules were made to simplify the Companies Act 2013. The rules were given in 2014. Now, whenever something is given after a new act has been made and 2014 supersede 2013, so the rules superseded Companies Act 2013 and restricted the number of present limit of members to 50. So the present maximum number of, if you'll read in your business studies books, it's written maximum 10 to 20 in case of banking and other businesses. But the Companies Act has now revised the limit up to ₹100. Again, the rules were refined, they were amended, and they have restricted the final number of members restricted to present limit is 50. So if somebody asks you in the exam that there are 59 members, total members in a partnership firm, is it a valid partnership or not? So you will simply say it's not a valid partnership because the maximum number of members should not exceed 50. This is the limit which is given under Companies Rule 2014. If someone tries to debate with you, but Companies Act has written 2013 has written 100 maximum number of partners, but again the rules have superseded. So what we have to learn for exam, that 50 is the present limit of number of maximum partners in case of a partnership firm. So minimum 2, maximum 50 is the limit for the partnership. Then going down to the second point, it says that partnership must be a result of an agreement. What is an agreement? A contract has to be formed between the parties in order to conclude it as a partnership firm. in order to make it a partnership, we need to have a contract. We need to have signed an agreement. Now, whether we have signed a written agreement or oral agreement, it all depends upon the partners. Mr. Ariharan is finding this chapter interesting, so that's great. Yes, Mohammed, we'll talk about that particular case also, but as of now, you pay attention on what topic we are discussing. Mr. Hemant is again asking maximum number of persons. So I just explained you. So pay attention what I'm telling you. 50 is the present number of members which has been restricted. Partnership must be result of an agreement means if we just decided and we have not signed anything, we have not made any agreement. So the agreement that the partners make is known as partnership deed. So there is a partnership deed, an agreement which will define all the rights given to the partners, how the business has to be conducted, what will be our mutual duties, who will come to the office first, who will do the business with which client, whatever decisions we want to take between doing the business, that is what we have to write. Ms. Jeffrin RM, the limit about the maximum number of members in companies. Once we go to the topic of difference between partnership and companies, there I will explain. As of now, I have simply told you that minimum partners to maximum restricted to 50. Where it is written under Companies Rule 2014. Don't worry, children. The moment we open study material, the things will get more clear from there also. Okay. As of now, keep noting down. I told you not to apply your brains. Whatever teacher is telling you, keep writing it down. Once we go to the study material, I'll make you mark where it is written. Partnership agreement is clear. Now moving down to the third point that the partnership has to be for doing certain business. So Harleen ma'am and Anuja Singh decided that we will be doing partnership with each other. And the partnership was to share the profits. How will the profits come? If me and Anuja are having a land and we owned this together, we went to the market, I paid 15,000. She also paid 15,000 and for 30,000, it is very reasonable. Do we get land for 30,000? No. I paid 15 lakhs. She also paid 15 lakhs. So we got a plot for 30 lakh rupees, a big plot for 30 lakh rupees. And we decided to earn rental income from this. And whatever rent was coming, let's take example of A and B. A and B are the joint owners of this land. And they decided that whatever rental income will come from this land, we will divide it among ourselves. Now here, law is simply trying to tell you that they're earning a rental income. Can you say they're getting any profits? They decided to put it on a rent of 10,000 per month. So now they're getting a rent of 10,000. 5,000 is given to Mr. A, 5,000 is given to Mr. B. Can we say they're sharing profits? What profits? They're sharing rent. Are they doing any business? No, man, there is no business in this case. You have simply taken a land and now you have given it on rent. You are earning a rental income. So law says such kind of arrangement between parties is known as co-ownership. It is not business. So if you're not doing any business, it cannot be partnership. So let's revise the first 3 points. If you're only one person, it is not a partnership. You have to have minimum 2. If you are 10 people, you can have a partnership. You are 49 people, you can have a partnership. Maximum can be 50. Not more than that. Where is this 50 written? Companies Rules 2014. But ma'am, Act says 100, but rules have restricted it to 50. Khatam. Can we make a partnership without any agreement? No, ma'am, no partnership without agreement. It is a simple friendship. It is a talk. For partnership, we need to sign an agreement. It's a partnership deed which will define all the records of our business that we're going to do. Can you and me have a partnership without doing any business? No, there is no partnership. If you're just owning a building or a land or a house and we're getting income from it, or maybe we have given on rent certain kind of property, then it is just a rental income. It is not partnership. For partnership, you should be doing a business. If I tell you A and B are property dealers and they're into business of buying and selling the houses, then yes, it is a partnership. Then it can be a partnership if other elements are also present. Clear ho gaye? First 3 points clear ho gaye. Now let's move to the fourth point. The agreement should be to share the profits of the business. We should be sharing the profits of the business. Somebody was asking, man, what about the losses? So the word profit in itself include whatever profits I'm earning, whatever losses, we have to share it. How do you share the profits? In the ratio which is written in the partnership agreement. And if no ratio is written, then we try to share the profit and losses equally. My students are doing accounts also, so they know partnership very well. Have you studied accounts? Partnership in accounts also. In the 12th class also have accounts and a partnership app. And even in your CA foundation, you must be having a reference to partnership as well. I don't think you have in CA foundation, but certainly in your accounts of class 12th, you're having entire shares and debentures and partnership as well. And even in foundation, you have. So if the partners are silent about the ratio of sharing the profits, then you all know that the profits and losses have to be shared equally. Remember, to A, to B, to C, you always divide the profits equally when no ratio has been given. So this is what the act is trying to tell you. This is where it is written. That's why you do it in the accounts. And the last point is, which is the most important point, something which requires an understanding that the business must be carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. Now, this principle is known as mutual agency. Do you know what is the meaning of mutual agency? Let me ask the audience, what is the meaning of mutual agency? It says the partners must have the principle of mutual agency present between them. Anjali, if a partner is having its own business, then certain rules given under chapter 2 will become applicable. So I will tell you, if you're driving any hidden profits, you will be considered to be doing a fraud. Okay. Very good, Ariharan. Rental is an income, not a business. So that's great. It was not a profit. Okay, good. Divya, Hemant, crystal clear. That's great. Equally. Okay. I'm asking mutual agency. So Abhishek Jha, from 2014, the rules become applicable. So any partnership formed from that act relevance, the maximum number of members have to be 50. Yes, Mr. Abdul, that is correct about interest and capital, that will be covered under second chapter. Miss Sonam is saying Apsi Sehmati, mutual agency. Okay, so relationship of mutual agency means that the members or other members are also liable. Very good. Miss Sagufta, Anand Sahu, agreement with the common consent. Mr. Hemant HK, understanding between the partners. It means that there must be a relationship between the partners. Very rightly mentioned. Soumya, Monu, Muskan, Anushka, Mr. Sheikh, Anuj, Vivikesh, Abhay Jain, Anand Sahu. Very nice students. It means that the partnership are having. अभय जैन, हिंदी में भी मैं आपको इसका मीनिंग समझा दूंगी, बिल्कुल चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं है. पहले हिंदी में ही बता देते हैं. माय इंग्लिश फ्रेंड्स, देन आई विल कन्वर्ट इट इनटू इंग्लिश. हिंदी में म्यूचुअल एजेंसी का मतलब ये होता है कि अगर ए बी सी तीन पार्टनर्स हैं, तो ए जो भी काम करेगा फर्म के लिए, उसके लिए बी एंड सी भी जिम्मेदार ठहराए जाएंगे. बी कोई भी काम करेगा तो ए एंड सी भी जिम्मेदार होंगे. म्यूचुअल एजेंसी, एक दूसरे के ऊपर निर्भर होकर हम पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म कर रहे हैं. So coming back to the English terminology, each partner is acting as a principal as well as agent of other partners. Let's take a very interesting example. So there is a partner, Mr. ABC. There were the partners ABC. Mr. A went to the market and purchased certain furniture for his office for rupees 15,000. So they three are partners, and one of the partners, Mr. A, went to the market, and for their office sitting, they have purchased the furniture so that all of them can have a nice office where they're going to sit for their business. Clients will be coming, and so they have bought a nice table for 15,000. A went to the market to Mr. D, is the dealer from whom he has purchased this furniture. Now the payment was to be made in 5 days, but A forgot to make the payment, and this Mr. D came to their office and met Mr. B. There was a dealer, Mr. D, from whom the furniture has been purchased. A was supposed to make payment in 5 days. 5 days have got over. Payment was still not made. So Mr. D came to their office and met Mr. B and said, please, here is a bill of 15,000. Your payment is pending. Can you make me the payment? Now, the interesting question arises, is B liable to make the payment? Do you think B or C have to make the payment for this furniture? The answer is yes, because the partners are liable for each other actions. Any partner doing anything for the business, the other partners also become liable. Liable means zimmedar. You are also liable. You are binding. Any act of the partner is binding on the others, means that you are also bound by the action of one of the partners, whatever they have done, provided they have done it for the purpose of business. Now, let me change the question a bit. Suppose A has bought this furniture for his home. Can still D recover the money from B or C? Yes or no? And why? Ms. Sakshi, Companies Act 2013 is applicable to all the companies. Please leave it for the limit of number of partners. I will show you where it is written in the study material. As of now, don't go into Companies Act. When we do Companies Act, I will explain you over there. Because they all are partners, it is carried on by all of them. All are liable. Mr. Nikhil, very good in the previous example. All of them were liable because he's acting in behalf of the firm. Very nice. And Muskan, Anil, Abhishek, Nishan, Kunal, all those who have said no for this answer, that's correct because he's using it for personal purposes. Now he cannot hold the other partners liable. Yes, Miss Shriya, you can call it as a drawings also, but then drawings is something when you're withdrawing the things from your own business and a sole proprietorship. Here you have done something, a purchase for yourself, for your home. Personal expenditure is the correct answer. So B and C will not be liable for any personal expenditure done by the partners. But what we were trying to understand over here is anything you're doing for the purpose of business, all the other partners will also be held liable. Clear ho gaya? So I hope all the elements, 5 elements of partnership are very clearly fed over here. You have understood each and every word. Now, what is the meaning of true test? Section 4 tells you definition and the essential elements. Section 6 of the Partnership Act. What is the Partnership Act? Section 6 of Indian Partnership Act 1932. Now, you remember where was the Indian Partnership Act before 1932? Before 1932, all the provisions of partnership were part of Indian Contract Act 1872. So way back when I started with sale of goods, I told you sale of goods and partnership both were part of Indian Contract Act only. But it was later decided that Sale of Goods Act 1930 separate act was made so that we don't have to refer to the Bulk Contract Act, and we can specific provisions related to sale and purchase can be seen in Sale of Goods Act. Similarly, Partnership Act was made in 1932. Again, it was earlier included in Contract Act only. Why? Because the entire basis of partnership is contract only, agreement between the parties. So it was held that 1932, all the provisions were taken from the contract and a separate act was formed so that whenever the partners have any fight among themselves or they have any problem with the dealers with whom they are dealing or any bank accounts opening issues are happening. So you can simply pick up the Partnership Act and you can refer to what application has to be done in certain kind of situations where you're doing a partnership form of business. So number one thing you have to remember over here is partnership is based out of an agreement because it was part of Contract Act only. So agreement is very important. Then only you can be said to have a partnership. So section 6 specifically tells you how you have to test it, whether it is a partnership or a company or an association of persons. So section 6 has to be applied in order to determine whether yes, it is 100% partnership form. Number one, we should have an agreement. Number two, the agreement should be for sharing the profits. I just explained you, we're just having a rental income, then it is not a profit. But if you're sharing the profits of a business, you're doing business and you're sharing the profits, then only you'll be considered to be a partnership. If A, B, and C are three partners, and they had a profit of 15,000, which was should be shared equally between all the partners. So every partner will get 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. But this Mr. A said, I have done most of the business. I only take care of the things. And he took entire profit to his own home. Every time they earn the profits, A only keep the profits to himself. He's not sharing it with B and C. Can you call it a partnership firm? Yes or no? Where only one of the partners takes all the profits to his home. Can we call it a partnership firm or not? Yes, give me the answers. Very good answers given for the previous one. It's very difficult to read all the names. So please don't keep asking, ma'am, have you read my name? Yes, I can see all your answers. Mr. Garv Gupta is saying, ma'am, can you see my question? No, I cannot see your question. You can send it again, Mr. Garv Gupta. Miss Kajal, you can send your question again if you want to ask something. Indian contract, yes. Agreement shared to collaborate. Mr. Anuj Kumar, yes, agreement must be to share the profits. So I have asked you right now whether it will be a partnership or not if only one of the partners is taking all the profits home. Can we have this kind of arrangement? Yes or no? Good, Soumya, Anuj, if it's crystal clear, that's great. Miss Kajal, you can send your question again. It's not visible right now. Yogesh, Abhishek Shah, Mr. Kunal. Mr. Kunal, the chapter weightage for the sale of goods in partnership again, sale of goods, I told you it is around 12 to 16 marks question paper comes. Similarly, around 14 marks questions come from Indian Partnership Act as well, 14 to 16 marks. Okay, children, why I'm not getting your answers? So no was the correct answer for this one. So well done. Now I can see your answers. No is the correct answer. Why? Because it's not a partnership firm. Because sharing of profits have to be done. If one of the partner is only taking all the profits at home, then it is not considered to be partnership. And at the same time, the business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all is very, very important. Mutual agency, we all have discussed, then only it becomes a partnership. It says otherwise, if you are having an agreement, mutual confidence, what is the meaning of mutual confidence? Do you think you can be partners if you don't trust each other, if you don't have confidence, if you don't have faith, then you can't be partners. So for having a partnership form of organization, you have to have a very good relationship between people who are doing partnership. Say, for example, there is a firm PQR, and in this P and Q never talk to each other. They are always having a fight. They're always having a problem. Can this kind of partnership firm exist? Law says it is not possible to exist such a kind of partnership firm where you're always having quarrels. Quarrels means fights. Court will give an order for dissolution of such a firm because a firm needs to have a confidence, trust, faith, and agreement among themselves. So capital, unlimited liability, these are all characteristics of partnership that you have read, sharing of profits and losses. It says these things are mandatory for any partnership firm, but only if you have this true test of partnership applied, then only it is considered as a partnership organization. Otherwise, it can be considered as a different form of organization if mutual agency is not present. So let us read these two important case laws of K.D. Kamath and Company and Santi Ranjan Das Gupta from the study material itself. So you cannot leave a single line. Everything from the study is very, very important, children. Let me just open it for all of you. The chapter, Indian Partnership. I hope my screen is now visible to all of you. So this is your Indian Partnership Act overview. We have just discussed what is partnership. This is the topics that we're going to do today in today's class, the general nature, how it is different from club, HUF, all these points we'll be discussing. So who are the partners? A, B, and C have agreed to sign a partnership firm individually. Individually means alag se unko partners kaha jayega. एंड कलेक्टिवली, हिंदी में कलेक्टिवली मीन्स इकट्ठा, उनको फर्म कहा जाता है. सो टुगेदर ए एंड बी सी आर नोन एज अ फर्म, individually they are known as partners. And ABC are working under the name of ABC Associates. So what is known as ABC Associates? ABC Associates is the firm's name. So name is given to the firm. Firm means all the partners are together known as a firm. So firm is not something which is different from the partners. पार्टनर्स को ही इकट्ठा फर्म कहा जाता है. फर्म एंड पार्टनर्स एक ही चीज है, अलग नहीं है. बट जब हम कंपनीज पढ़ेंगे, कंपनी में मेंबर्स एंड कंपनीज डिफरेंट है. पर अंडर पार्टनरशिप यू कैन राइट इट डाउन. अंडर पार्टनरशिप all the partners together are known as a firm. So partners and firm are the same. They are not different from each other. Partners को ही मिलाकर फर्म बनती है. They are not different from each other. They are all same because you have entered the partnership. Collectively, you are known as firm. So partners को ही firm कहा जाता है. Elements of partnership. This is the table that we have just discussed in our examples. So here it is written, children. All those who were asking, we have erased your Companies Act 2013 100 limit because it was creating so much confusion. So simply you have to learn number of members. I'll make you mark down in points what you have to learn from this paragraph. So all of you mark down points in your study material. Number 1, partnership should have 2 or more persons. Number 2, firm is not a person, therefore it cannot be a partner. Number 3, minor cannot be a partner in the firm, but can be admitted for the benefits. Number 4 point, maximum number of partners are given under Companies Act 2013, which has put a limit of 50 partners in any association or partnership firm. So minimum number of partners, ma'am, that we have to learn is 2. Maximum number of partners that we have to learn is 50. बस. कहाँ लिखा है, क्यों लिखा है, कंपनीज एक्ट ने क्यों ऐसे कर दिया, रूल्स क्यों आ गए, हमने उसमें नहीं जाना है. क्योंकि हम इतना लर्न कर ले वही बहुत बड़ी बात है. हम जब कंपनीज एक्ट पढ़ेंगे तब हम बाकी कंपनीज एक्ट को समझेंगे. जो हमने याद रखना है, व्हाट वी हैव टू रिमेंबर एंड लर्न इज मिनिमम 2, मैक्सिमम 50. दैट्स इट. नाउ व्हाट अगेन वी हैव टू रिमेंबर इज, कैन फर्म बी अ पार्टनर इन अ फर्म? So there is a firm ABC Associates. Can it join us as a partner in another partnership? It says no. Why? Because firm is not a person recognized in the eyes of law. It says firm is not a person recognized in the eyes of law means, however, any other person recognized by law means it is talking about a company. You can write it down in your own words. Here it is talking about a company. जहां पे लिखा है ना, only persons recognized by law can enter into an agreement, it means it is talking about a company. Now what happens is, children, it says company can join as a partner, but firm cannot join as a partner. लिख लो इसको. A company can join as a partner, but a firm cannot join as a partner. Why? The reason is, company is a separate legal entity. So ABC formed a company. So, children, when company, once it gets registered, it gets a registration certificate, it becomes a separate entity, and members, these 4 members went and signed the company. Now they have formed a company, private limited company. Company is different, members are different. Company always get a legal identity. So it is known as, this is a person which is recognized in the eyes of law. So tomorrow Reliance wants to enter into partnership. Definitely it can enter into partnership because it's a company. But any partnership firm, say for example, ABC Associates is a partnership firm having 3 partners. So now this firm wants to join as a partner in PQR Associates. It cannot join because firm cannot join as a partner. Okay. All right. Let's move ahead. Okay. So, Maya, your answers are coming definitely. Yes, now it's visible. I don't know why I could not see your answers, all of you. You have given great answers for the other things. Madhu is asking me to repeat the line. So, I just said that company can join as a partner in partnership firm, but a firm cannot join as a partner. Why? Because firm is not a person recognized in the eyes of law. All right. Mr. Nikhil, if you're asking that the two partnership firms and partners are different, so I told you partners are only forming the partnership firm. So the partners and partnership firm is one and the same thing. Yes, Renuka, company is an artificial person. Mr. Keshav, I just told you maximum number of partners can be 50. Varun is interested in asking me sharing my CA journey. First, let's complete this, children. We have a lot of syllabus, and once we are done, then I'll share that as well. Thank you, Miss Anjali. I'm glad you found the answer now. Good. Thank you, Abhishek. Okay, now let's proceed ahead and then we'll go into the doubts because it's a very lengthy chapter. Otherwise, it'll take a lot of time. So agreement, you all have understood what is the meaning of agreement. One another point was left over here, minor. So ABC Associates are three partners who are running the business of shoe business, and A has a son, Mr. D, who is of 16 years of age. So when Mr. D is 16 years of age, so can we say that he's a minor? Yes, ma'am. Any person below the 18 years of age is considered as a minor. So A, B, and C said, okay, fine, we are ready to take D as a partner. If all the three partners have consented means they have said yes, they have given the permission, then yes, D can join the partnership only for having the profits of the firm and not for any losses. Benefits means he can be admitted for the benefits means he can only enjoy the profits of the firm, not the losses. So a minor can join the partnership firm if all the partners have agreed and only for the profits. क्लियर हो गया? आगे हमारे पास बहुत बड़ा सेक्शन है माइनर का, जब हम वो पढ़ेंगे तब हम और डिटेल में समझेंगे. अभी के लिए ये सारे पॉइंट्स आप साथ साथ लिखते जाइए एंड लेट्स गो टू द पॉइंट ऑफ एग्रीमेंट. Agreement is very, very easy and simple. It can be expressed, it can be implied from the consistent course of the action taken by the parties. So whatever mutually we are doing. So is it compulsory to have an agreement in writing between the partners? Tell me yes or no. Can we have an oral agreement also? Yes, ma'am, we can have an oral agreement also between the partners. Partnership deed is very, very interesting, children. As far as we are having an agreement, it is clear. Law says it is silent about having a written agreement. It can be oral or it can be in writing. But the main preference should be given to the written agreement. Why? Because it becomes very easy to prove it in a court of law. If any quarrels or any fights happen, if you have a written record, you can show it and you can prove your point. So it is better to have the partnership agreement in writing, but you can have it in both the ways, oral or writing, but it should be consistent from the conduct of parties. It means वो business किस तरह से कर रहे हैं, उससे पता लगता है कि उनकी agreement किस चीज की. And the third point is having a business and acquiring the gain. So not just doing the business. So for example, I am into cloth business and I have the partnership with Mr. P and Q. And we purchase the cloth from the market for rupees 100 and again we sell it in the market for rupees 100. Again, we purchase the cloth from the market rupees 90 and we are selling it in the market for rupees 90 or maybe rupees 80. So it says if you're not earning any profits, you should have the urge and thirst to earn profits. There can be no partnership if you're just having the business and you're just sharing whatever returns are coming. So if I have spent 100 rupees and I'm selling it for 100, that means I'm not no profit, no gains. I'm not having any profits and I'm not having any losses. So there should be the eagerness to earn profits also. Then only it will be considered as a partnership firm. If you're selling the things for the lesser price, if you're doing a charity, then it is a charitable organization. It is not a partnership. All right. And agreement should be to share the profits where all the partners see this white person who is taking all the profits home. You all agreed, then it is not a partnership firm. They should be sharing and mutually. Here is the example of co-ownership. We have already discussed because there is no business, therefore co-owners cannot be considered as partnership. No charitable organization will be considered as partnership because it is not for, it is for non-economic purposes. So you have opened up a charitable institution like during COVID days, many people came together. They formed the association of persons. They were doing free seva. They were doing free langar for the people who have suffered. So they were doing it from the viewpoint of charity. There was no intention to earn profits. You were trying to help people out. So that kind of organizations cannot be a partnership. It is a simple charitable institution which is known as association of persons and it is never called a partnership because the intention was not to do the business. However, where the people are buying cotton, they're agreeing to sell it on the joint account, they're sharing the profits equally. So in example 3, all the 5 points are valid, all the points are present, X and Y are also holding each other liable, their mutual principle is also there, then they will be considered as a partner in the business. So what is the example of mutual agency? It says A, B, and C are partners in ABC Associates. If A made certain purchases from K, Mr. K can recover this money from all the partners because all the partners are liable for any acts done on behalf of the firm. Is that clear? So if mutual agency is absent, then there will be no partnership. So say, for example, if A, B, C are partners and whatever A is doing, A has to take care of those things. Whatever B is doing, B and B will be taking care of that thing. Then there is no partnership. Mutually means आपसी आपका ऐसा relation होना चाहिए कि हम एक दूसरे को liable hold कर सकते हैं. So in partnership, you are liable for the action of the other persons. It is the cardinal principle of the partnership law. What is the meaning of cardinal? It says mutual agency is the heartbeat of partnership. सो अगर म्यूचुअल एजेंसी है, ऐसे से हमारा हार्ट चल रहा है तो आप लिविंग ह्यूमन बींग्स हो. अगर आपकी म्यूचुअल एजेंसी रिलेशनशिप है, ऑन है, तो आप पार्टनरशिप हो. अगर आपकी म्यूचुअल एजेंसी नहीं है, सपोज के आया पैसे रिकवर करने, उसने कहा जी ए ने परचेजेस करा था, बी आप मुझे पेमेंट कर दो. अगर बी बोलते नहीं 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 हम नहीं पेमेंट करेंगे, हम ए कौन होता है परचेज करने वाला, इसने कैसे बिजनेस परचेज कर लिया, तो ए से ही रिकवर करो, हम नहीं करेंगे, तो लॉ कहता है फिर आपकी कोई पार्टनरशिप नहीं. अगर आपकी म्यूचुअल एजेंसी नहीं है तो आपकी कोई पार्टनरशिप नहीं. So if any partner has made a purchases, the other partners will also be held liable or for any other liabilities also. So holding each other liable is the main crux for the partnership to be called this form of organization. So before we take a break, let's see KD Kamath and Company. So why KD Kamath is very, very important, ma'am? Because it is a सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट. सो सुप्रीम कोर्ट मतलब इतनी बड़ी लड़ाई होगी कि हमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक जाना पड़ गया टू टेक अ डिसीजन दैट व्हाट हैपेंड इन केडी कामत, व्हाट वाज द मेजर प्रॉब्लम. It says in Supreme Court held that the two essential elements are very important to satisfy. That is, number one, there should be an agreement to share the profits of the losses and profits both. See, he's saying over here, Supreme Court has written profits include losses also. And the business shall be carried on by all or any one of them all under the definition of partnership. Section 4 has given the definition, mutual agency should be present. So what happened in this case law? Now, study is silent about the case law. It is just giving you the crux. So I will tell you the story behind this. What happened in this case law was that KD Kamath was having the exclusive power and control was in the hand of KD Kamath. KD Kamath was one of the person who had a partnership firm. But the entire control and management KD Kamath has kept to himself. But all the parties have agreed to this. He had made an agreement with other partners. ABC were other partners and KD Kamath was a partner. So ABC said, okay, fine, KD Kamath, you are doing business very nicely. So why don't you only keep the entire power and control in your hands? Whatever profits will come, we will share it. We are mutually liable also. But all the management was in the hands of one of the parties. So High Court, when they went to the High Court said that you cannot be registered as a partnership firm. They had to pay certain liabilities were due, which had to be paid as a partnership. So High Court said that no, your firm is not a partnership. You are a sole proprietor. Why they said? Because only one partner was operating all the bank accounts. He was doing all the borrowings on behalf of the firm. And only one partner was seen and involved in all the management and organization of the business. So in KD Kamath and Company, you can write it down. High Court said that it is not a partnership firm. This is just for your understanding, not for writing in the exam. So you can simply remember High Court gave the judgment that KD Kamath, you are not a partnership firm because only one of the partner is having sole management in his hand. Only KD Kamath. It seemed as if KD Kamath was only doing the business. He was having bank accounts were in his own name. All the borrowing was being done by KD Kamath. So since exclusive power and control was in the hand of KD Kamath, they said it is a kind of a sole proprietor kind of organization. So KD Kamath and company felt very disappointed. They said, we are partners. So they filed an appeal in Supreme Court. Look, High Court is not accepting us as partnership firm. Supreme Court, we want to tell you that we are a partnership firm. So Supreme Court applied two basic principles of the true test of partnership. He applied the first and third principle. First, second, and third principle. He said, do you have an agreement? KD Kamath said, yes, sir, we have an agreement between the parties. Have the parties agreed that you can have the exclusive power and control? Yes, sir. Parties have made an agreement with the partners. ABC have told me that yes, KD Kamath, you can have all the arrangements with the bankings and everything. And are you sharing the profits and losses? Yes, sir, we are sharing the profits and losses. Are you holding each other mutually liable? Definitely, sir. Whatever acts I'm doing, my other partners, ABC, are also liable. And if A doesn't purchase certain things from the market for business, KD Kamath said, I am also liable. We are having the principle of mutual agency. We are having the sharing of profits and losses. We are having an agreement among ourselves. So law said if three basic criteria of agreement, sharing profit and losses, mutual agency is met, then yes, you are a partnership firm. So this is what have to be proved. Section 6 came eventually after KD Kamath case has concluded that this true test of partnership means the three basic elements of partnership must be present in order to conclude it as a partnership firm. So let's take a small break, and after that we will be completing Santi Ranjan Das Gupta, and we will try to cover all the MCQs and points of differences with the partnership. Let's take a small break. students? Okay, Joa, Praveen, if you're asking if the partners have mutual agency but they're not sharing the profits, then again, we have to see all the points of Section 6 collectively, that if there is an agreement, we are sharing the profits and mutual agency is present, then only you will be concluded as a partnership under Indian Partnership Act. So Section 6 clearly tells you that there should be an agreement, you should be sharing the profits, and the business is being carried by one or all of them. What is the meaning of one or all of them means? Even if one person, that is what KD Kamath has just proved, that even if one of the person is doing the business and other partners are agreeing to it and they're held liable for the same, then it will be considered as a valid partnership. I hope there are no doubts. Ms. Divya is saying if the partnership deed states that only one partner is allowed to take the profits. So Ms. Divya, when we go to the type of partners, there are certain partners for profits only. If that kind of arrangement has been made and agreement allows, then yes, it can be considered as a valid. Anuj Kumar, definitely correct. Even we are reliable on the written agreement, but it can be oral and written both. Mr. Karthik is asking what is the difference between firm and partnership? So firm is the name given to the partners collectively. So there is no difference between the firm and partnership. It says the firm is the name given to all the partners together. So we can say partnership firm. Yes, Anuza saying partnership deed and agreement are the same. Mr. Mohammed Sheikh is asking, can a company merge with a partnership? So this is your CA final question. When you go to CA final, you're doing Companies Act above Section 300. There you will understand how the amalgamation of company can happen with the partnership. As of now, simple basics of partnership are to be done in foundation. Sania Khan, if you get any question related to the elements, then you have to explain all the elements that we have discussed one by one. Okay. I hope there are no other doubts. Law cannot see the firm, Neha Yadav, because the firm is not a person. Law has regarded a company as a person. Now, how company is a person, it's a separate legal entity concept. When I teach you about company, there I will explain you in detail about it. Okay? All right. So now we have done these points of agreement. Again, it is talking about the same point. Section 5, it says that you become partner by an agreement, not by status. In Hindu undivided family, when they're carrying, what is HUF? You know the meaning of HUF? Where a Hindu undivided family is having a big business. Hindu families which are having business, they're doing a family business together. It is known as HUF. And you become the member of HUF by birth. If you're born in that family, you don't have to sign an agreement. A member is becoming a member in a family business by birth. Burmese Buddhist husband and wife carrying on the business are not partners in such business. So if your HUF husband and wife are doing business together, they're not partners, they are part of HUF family business. However, in partnership, you do not become a partner just by having a birth in somebody's home. You have to sign an agreement by becoming a partner. Now, sharing of profits talk about the common interest in that property. It says together we are holding the interest in the partnership firm. It is different from simple receipt of profits. तो कहते हैं भी एक होता है receipt of profits, भी आपको profits में से कुछ हिस्से का पैसा मिला. जैसे कि when I started the class, I told you Ram is a sole proprietor. He was paying salary to Sham. So you all said, ma'am, he is getting salary. He is your employee. He is not a partner. So we cannot say that simply I'm paying him something out of the profits that I've earned, so he become my partner. Okay. So any servant or agent whom you're paying remuneration is not a partner. Any lender of money to whom you're engaging in the business. Suppose you have hired any person who is giving you certain amount of money, or you have given your share of profits as a loan to another person. You have lended the money to someone. He does not become your partner. A widow or a child of a deceased partner. Let's say there were three partners, PQR, and one of the partner has died. So P has died, and now Q and R are paying annuity. Annuity क्या होता है? Annual sum of money. Ramaya versus Chinaya mein you must have understood the meaning of annuity. Annual sum of money, you are paying annually somebody the money to help him meet his day-to-day needs. So annual sum of money was given by Q and R to the wife of Mr. P. Widow means the person, a lady whose husband has died. So now they wanted to pay money to the widow and the child of the deceased partner who has died. So if they are paying this out of the profits of the business, so that means widow will not become the partner just because she's getting a share of profits. So such kind of payments are regarded will not make him partner. You can read on it does not make him partner if you're giving a money to lender of money, if you're paying as an agent, or if you're paying to a widow or a child, or if you're making any payment has been received by the previous owner as a consideration for the sale of goodwill, it will not make him the receiver, a partner with the person carrying on the business. Now, this is very interesting case. There was a sole proprietor, Mr. A. He had a great business, a big showroom in the market in Delhi and South Ex. Now he's selling this business to another firm. And while sale, he also charged for the goodwill that he has earned over the years, a reputation that he has built in this business, having a good business, reputed business in that particular South Ex area. So he's charging for that goodwill. Now, the partners had to pay for the goodwill. It does not mean that A will also become a partner in the firm because he has charged for the goodwill payment. It says just because you receive the payment for the sale of goodwill will not make you the partner in the firm. For becoming a partner, these 4 points are not making you partner, okay? So these 4 points in your own words, you can write down. If you're receiving the money and share of profits, it will not make you a partner just because you're receiving these profits. For becoming a partner, you have to sign an agreement. Yes, 8 says that I also want to merge with you. You pay me for my goodwill, I'll sell you the business, and then I become a partner with you. I sign an agreement, I share the profits, and I am participant to that mutual agency relationship. Then yes, he can become a partner. But simply because of receiving money for the share of goodwill, he will not be considered as a partner in your firm. Is that clear, all of you? So sharing of partners. Now, another very interesting thing. Now, this line is actually favorite of examiner, and he can give you straight away this line as a question for exam. Sharing of profits is not only prima facie evidence, it's a prima facie evidence, not conclusive evidence. You remember the word prima facie I told you once? Where kids are fighting, mom entered the room and the sister was hitting the brother. So mom saw prima facie, apparently that sister was hitting, that means it is sister's mistake. याद है ना वो एग्जाम्पल के भूल गए हो सब लोग. प्राइमा फेसी एविडेंस जो दिखता है. तो शेयर कर रहे प्रॉफिट्स हरलीन मैम एंड अभिषेक झा ने पार्टनरशिप करा. अभिषेक को प्रॉफिट मिला, हरलीन मैम को प्रॉफिट मिला. देखने में यही लग रहा है इनकी पार्टनरशिप है क्योंकि इन्होंने बिजनेस करा, प्रॉफिट शेयर करा, तो दैट मीन्स पार्टनरशिप. But mutual agency absent था. We were not liable for each other's action. Abhishek Jha is liable for his own actions. I am liable for my actions. Then it says it cannot be concluded to be a partnership because for conclusive evidence, we need mutual agency. If it is not a conclusive evidence, sharing of profits is only prima facie, जो दिखता है. शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स करा, देखने में यही लगा कि हाँ जी ये पार्टनरशिप है. बट कंक्लूड कौन करेगा? म्यूचुअल एजेंसी रिलेशनशिप इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू कंक्लूड दैट यस इट्स अ पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म. It says although it's a right to participate in the profits, but the stronger test is that you should be having a mutual agency relationship. So this is what mutual agency talks about. It says mutual agency is the cardinal principle. If it is not any conclusion you have to reach whether this partnership or not, it has to be seen whether the mutual agency is present or not. So each partner carrying on is an agent and principal. I've already told you it is binding all the partners. If it is present, then it becomes a partnership firm. Now let's come to the second important case law of today's lecture, that is Santi Ranjan Das Gupta versus the Shriyan मुर्जामुल सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट. तो मुर्जामुल में फिर से सुप्रीम कोर्ट की जजमेंट आई है. अब ये क्या कहता है? इन संती रंजन दास गुप्ता इट वाज हेल्ड दैट देयर इज नो पार्टनरशिप. केडी कामत में हमने कहा पार्टनरशिप है. संती रंजन में कहा गया था देयर इज नो पार्टनरशिप. व्हाई मैम? नंबर 1, parties have not retained any records of terms and conditions, means there was no agreement only. अब जब एग्रीमेंट ही नहीं है कोई रिकॉर्ड ही नहीं है, कोई टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस ही नहीं डिसाइड हुई हुई है पार्टनरशिप की, तो फिर तो म्यूचुअल एजेंसी भी क्या करेगा, फिर तो पार्टनरशिप है ही नहीं, बिकॉज द फर्स्ट बेसिक प्रिंसिपल इज द एग्रीमेंट. So in Santi Ranjan Das Gupta, it has maintained no accounts of its own. There were no bank accounts were opened up. Nothing was open for inspection. There was no partnership done with the bank also. No written intimation was given to the deputy director of procurement. So any new partner has been admitted or joined new partnership. Whenever you create a new partnership, deputy director has to be intimated that we have started with a new partnership, and no such written intimation was given to him also. So, Supreme Court said you cannot simply say that we are sharing the profits and we have mutual agency. There have to be certain records to show whether an oral or written agreement or some recording or something has to be retained. Some bank account should have been opened. Some sale books, purchase books. Nothing was seen. How can you say that you're having a partnership? There was no partnership between the parties. They were just doing a business. They were just trying to gain the benefits of partnership firm. So, Santi Ranjan Das Gupta, straight away, this case law was held that it is no agreement, no partnership. Even if you say that we share the profits, we have the mutual agency, but if the basic crux is only missing, the agreement is only missing, you don't have any terms and conditions of partnership, you have not opened any accounts, you don't have any sale book, purchase book, no ledgers, no subsidiary books, no intimation was given to the deputy director. Therefore, it was held without any records. It was concluded that there is no partnership, and partnership can only be considered if you have an agreement between the partners. Is that clear, students? So I hope KD Kamath and Santi Ranjan Das Gupta are now crystal clear to all of you. So in this presentation, you can write down in KD Kamath section 4, we have concluded that yes, it was a partnership. Even if the entire power and control is in the hand of one of the partner, then also if mutual agency sharing of profits agreement is there, yes, it is a partnership. In Santi Ranjan Das Gupta Murzamul case, we have concluded there is no partnership because there was no written records, no agreement, and nothing books can be seen. No partnership was no account was opened with the bank also. Therefore, it was held that there is no partnership. Clear here? Now let's move to your favorite topic in which you keep asking doubts also most of the time. What is the difference between a company and a partnership firm? I hope no doubt still here. Mr. Yash Shah, meaning of contractual means that we have agreed to this, contracted for the same. Yes, Ariharan, your messages are coming. Anybody wants to ask anything, they can ask. Mr. Hemant, association, we are going to do association of persons. There I will explain you. Mr. Mohammed Farhan, why are you asking same question again and again? I told you merger of company, amalgamation of company with partnership is your CA final topic. We won't be discussing it in foundation. No, Mr. Vivikesh, you can ask me the doubts here itself. Association, again, Mr. Hemant is talking about the same things again and again. Miss Madhu Namdevi, difference between firm and company, something which we're going to do. Mr. Vikash Kumar, in HUF, given the property, not given the, yes, Mr. Vikash, that's absolutely correct. By HUF, by birth, you become the member and you get all the rights in that business. Yes, Anusa, same partnership and agreement and partnership deed is same. Okay, Renuka, glad you remember that example of prima facie. That's good. Muskan is also writing. Nice. Anuj, Sanya, Mr. Amod. Now your messages are coming for the previous one. Mr. Sheikh, the real relationship means how the partners are actually behaving with each other, how they're actually doing the conduct of the business. That is what it means by the real relationship. Yes, Mr. Pramod, but again, there is a limit to being a partner in number of firms. Okay. Yes, Ms. Muskan, it was clearly important for them to have the records in order to prove whether it was partnership firm or not. Mr. Keshav Gupta, what have you not understood in agency point? Agency point simply tells you that if I am a partner with your firm, whatever actions I'm taking, you will be liable for that. If you take any actions, I will be held liable. So that is what means by the mutual agency. Mr. Nanda R is also enjoying the classes. That's great. I'm glad the concepts are getting clear. Mr. Arun, which chart you want me to explain? Please clarify. I will explain you once again. Mr. Dev Kumar, you are not necessarily required to explain the case laws, but reference of the case laws can be given if the question demands so. Neha Yadav, how will you check the mutual agency? Simply, if the other partners are being held liable, whatever acts you are doing, your other partners are also liable for the same. This is what is the meaning of mutual agency. Now let's move to your favorite topic, that is difference between company and a partnership firm. So a partnership firm is not a legal entity. It means that if ABC are partners in a firm, and tomorrow, if all these partners die, the firm will also come to an end. If all the partners of a firm will die, the firm will also get dissolved. It will come to an end. Why? Because partners को ही तो firm बोलते हैं. Partners are collectively known as firm. So if the partners will die, firm will come to an end. But company is an artificial legal person. Salomon versus Salomon, case law, very important case law. When we do Companies Act, I will explain you this. Not right now. जब कंपनी रजिस्टर हो जाती है ना बेटा, तो कंपनी का एक अपना नाम बन जाता है, कंपनी का अपना अकाउंट होता है, कंपनी अपने अकाउंट में बैंक अकाउंट खोल सकते हैं. अब कंपनी खुद चलकर तो नहीं जाती है, करते तो डायरेक्टर्स एंड शेयर होल्डर्स ही हैं, बट कंपनी एक आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन है. जैसे रिलायंस है, जैसे टाटा है, ऑल दीज कंपनीज दे हैव देयर नेम. You can make an agreement of partnership also with these companies, but partnership firm is not a legal person. It is the collectively all the partners को इकट्ठे होकर ही फर्म बोला जाता है. सो कंपनी को लीगल स्टेटस मिलता है लॉ के द्वारा, बट पार्टनरशिप फर्म को लीगल स्टेटस नहीं मिलता है. पार्टनर्स को ही पार्टनरशिप फर्म कहा जाता है. इसीलिए कंपनी हैज परपेचुअल सक्सेशन, मींस कंपनी कंटिन्यूज टू एग्जिस्ट. But firm does not have perpetual succession. Perpetual means continues. Succession means it continues to exist. Perpetual succession का meaning होता है continues to exist for long. So that means if all the shareholders have died, company will still exist in the books. But if all the partners have died, partnership firm will come to an end. Registration. Company is registered under Companies Act 2013. Partnership is guided by Indian Contract Act and Partnership Act. Registration is not compulsory under partnership because it is not a legal organization that you're forming. So registration is not compulsory. Optional है, benefits है registration के, but compulsory नहीं. Now comes your favorite number of members. Private company can have maximum 200. Public company can have unlimited number of members. But the minimum are 2 and 7. We can also have OPC. Anyone knows what is OPC? OPC is one person company. So if I ask you that there is only single person, Mr. A, can he open a company? You said, ma'am, private company, we need 2 members. Public company, we need 7 members. Here the maximum in private are 200. Here the maximum are unlimited. But can one person open a company? Law says yes. We can have one person company also. Even a single person can open up a company. How he will open a company? Companies Act में पढ़ेंगे. अभी के लिए हाँ जी, one person can also open up a company. Number of members in any association will not exceed 100. आप इसको छोड़ दो, आप simple याद रखो कि number of members in partners has been given under Companies Rule 2014. That is, it is restricted to 50. So how many number of partners? Minimum 2 and maximum 50. This is what, which I have underlined. This is what you have to remember. That's it. इसको भूल जाओ. All right. So quickly tell me maximum number of partners we can have in partnership firm is? जल्दी बताओ फटाफट से. Abhishek Jha, cardinal principle means it's the heartbeat of the partnership firm. Mutual agency is very, very important function. Cardinal means very important function. वो cardinal इसलिए कह रहे हैं क्योंकि जैसे human being के जिंदा रहने के लिए heartbeat चाहिए, ऐसे ही partnership को prove करने के लिए mutual agency relationship चाहिए. तो इसका मतलब है कि बहुत important function है mutual agency. मिस्टर अभय जैन, यू कैन सेंड योर डाउट अगेन बेटा. आपका डाउट क्या है, बोलो बेटा. अभय जैन. मिस मधु, इट इज सिंपली ट्राइंग टू टेल यू अबाउट HUF. ऐसे ही वो कह रहे हैं बुद्धिस्ट एंड बर्मीज फैमिली में भी जब आप अनडिवाइडेड फैमिलीज में रहते हो तो आप बाय बर्थ आप बिजनेस के मेंबर बन जाते हो. पार्टनरशिप डिफरेंट है फ्रॉम ऑल दीज. Yes, Mr. Abhishek Dhiman, you need to have a written agreement is preferable. Otherwise, partnership deed has to be made when you sign a partnership. Mr. Keshav Gupta, if all the members of the company die in an accident, the company will still continue to exist in the books of accounts. Members are no longer there, but the company, how does the company will come to an end? Its name has to be striked off. Winding up of company, entire procedure, we understand. That is how the company will come to an end. Miss Punita, if all the directors will decide, then they will how the company will keep running. The company will keep lying in the books of accounts. The name will still exist. Yes, Dev Kumar, form can be registered, but it is not compulsory. Yes, Ariharan, it will become dominant companies later on. That's wonderful. Mr. Mohammed, excellent. OPC, one person can open up a OPC also. That's great. And number of members, 50. All of you have written. Finally, you have understood. So I'm glad. Joint stock in company, yes. Miss Sumaya, joint stock company and a company is one and the same thing. मिस्टर अभय जैन, केडी कामत हिंदी में बता दो. केडी कामत में ये हुआ था कि एक ही बंदा था जिसके हाथ में सारी पावर एंड कंट्रोल थी, बट सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा क्योंकि आपकी एग्रीमेंट एग्जिस्ट करती है, आप म्यूचुअल एजेंसी एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है, बिजनेस पार्टनर्स के साथ कर रहे हो, तो आपको पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म मान लिया जाए. Mr. Yogesh Kumar, prima facie evidence means that sharing of profits is a very important evidence. Evidence means proof. We mean it's visible that sharing of profits, that yes, there is a partnership, but in order to conclude, in order to have a final yes that it's a partnership firm, you need to have a mutual agency function. Yes, Mr. Arun NP, you can start the partnership when you have partners around, and mutual trust and confidence is the crux and importance of partnership. All right. Yes, Mr. Sarjeet Kumar. So we have to remember the company's rule 2014 have restricted the number of members, partners to 50. That is what we have to remember. Now, distribution of profits in company, what do you get? You invest shares, you get dividend. In partnership firm, you get the profits. So here there are profits distributed as per the deed. Here there are dividends. Property in company, the property of company is separate and the property of the members is different. So you have invested joint stock company means where you have invested the property together and you get it in the form of dividends or a fund of capital. Here the firm's property is the joint estate of all the partners. The partners have together bought all these things. So in company you have capital invested. So in the partnership also whatever capital has been invested, it is in the joint name of all the partners. Here the shares can be transferred, but in partnership, you cannot transfer your share without the consent of other partners. So it is very important in partnership, if you want to transfer your share to another person, you have to ask the permission of other partners also. What is the liability of the partnership firm? अब कंपनी बनाते क्यों हैं लोग? क्योंकि पार्टनरशिप फर्म का सबसे बड़ा डिसएडवांटेज, मिस्टर मोहम्मद शेख, यू वर आस्किंग फॉर LLP पॉइंट, नाउ लिसन केयरफुली. Liability of partnership firm is unlimited. Now, the only problematic thing in the partnership firm is that it has first of all, it is a very easy form of organization. It does not require any much legal support. Like Abdul, you were asking, Mr. Ramod or somebody was asking, legal support, much of legal support is not required. Partnership is the very simplest form of organization. You and me decided that yes, fine, we signed an agreement, we made our own rules and regulations, and we got it self-registered. It is not compulsory. Even if we get it self-registered, we get additional benefits. So we have decided to form a partnership. So you are doing the business with me. Whatever you do, I'm liable. Whatever I do, you are also liable. This is the only basic mutual agency principle that has to be present in a partnership firm. But the problematic thing is our liability is very huge. If tomorrow the liability of the firm is 1 lakh, we both have to bear it. Our personal assets are also liable in case of partnership firm. Say, for example, we are going to end this business and only 30,000 profits are there. So 30,000 profits we'll be using to paying 1 lakh and balance 70,000, 35,000 you will have to bring from your home, 35,000 I will have to bring. We have to dispose of this liability of 1 lakh. It is very, very problematic thing that the liability is very huge. It's unlimited liability that we have in partnership. And in company, we can have company limited by members, company limited by shares. Here, the liability is limited to certain extent. But again, the company is a very, very legal procedures are required. Lot of legal compliance is required in order to set up a company. So government thought that let's encourage more entrepreneurs. People stop getting into partnership because then it is very difficult, unlimited liability. They were not doing business at large scale. They were actually thinking that let's open up a company, but again, huge cost is involved in company. So they could not set up a company also. So many of entrepreneurs were facing this kind of difficulty. So government thought, let's encourage the entrepreneurship and let's have a new form of organization, that is LLP. That is limited liability partnership, which is your next topic after you have done the partnership with me. It is LLP. It means limited liability partnership, where the essence of your partnership is again the agreement and bonding, but your liability is limited. Limited to what? Limited to the extent of your share that you're holding in that organization. And you get the status of a company. So LLP is the flexibility which has been given to the people. It has the benefits of partnership firm, and it gets a legal status like a company has a separate legal existence. I just told you it exists in the eyes of law. Similarly, LLP also get the legal status, but it has the benefit of limited liability. So it gets both the benefit flexibility of partnership because it is based on an agreement, and the liability becomes limited. But as of now, we are not doing LLP. I'm just trying to tell you what is the meaning of liability. That is how liability helped the organization and government to think that there is a need of new form of organization. That's how LLP was given birth. Because partnership में आपकी main problem जो आती है वो होती है unlimited liability. Moving on to another point of difference, agency. Do we have agency relationship in members and company? No. A member is not an agent of company. आपने रिलायंस में शेयर्स खरीदे हैं, आप जाकर मार्केट से सामान खरीदते हो, तो क्या रिलायंस लायबल है? नो. कंपनी एंड मेंबर्स में एजेंसी रिलेशनशिप नहीं है, बट पार्टनर्स एंड फर्म में एजेंसी रिलेशनशिप इज द मेजर क्राइटेरिया. Here the management is in the hand of directors. Here the management is in the hand of partners. Company can be winded up by National Company Law Tribunal, NCLT. National Company Law Tribunal is NCLT. Very, very important point. All the matters of companies are handled by the tribunal. A specific tribunal has been created to handle company law. That is NCLT body. That is National Company Law Tribunal. You have to get your name struck off from the registrar of companies if the company has closed. However, partners can dissolve the firm anytime whenever they agree. इनको किसी नेशनल कंपनी लॉ ट्राइब्यूनल या किसी बड़ी बॉडी के पास नहीं जाना पड़ता फर्म को बंद करने के लिए. Whenever they agree, they can dissolve the firm. Is that clear? So all these points of differences you have to understand and learn it. So you can simply remember all these points. Just remember the headings. Basis याद रखोगे तो बहुत easily learn हो जाएगा. Legality, perpetual succession, registration, property. All these bases, when you'll remember, you'll give it 2 and 3 reading. You'll remember all the points. And in the next class, I'm going to ask you what are the points of differences. So learn it nicely. Now, is the partnership form different from club? Yes, ma'am, it is different from club. Why it is different from club? You go for gymming most of the time. You go to a club for restaurants, for eating. Different clubs are there. Dance clubs are there. Gymming clubs are there. Are you going there? You have any profit motive for going to a club? No, you're just a member of a club. You're not earning profits over there. You're just paying your membership fees and you take the benefits of a club. In partnership, your objective is to have profits and you're a partner in a firm. Are you interested in the property when you're into partnership? Yes, definitely. You are very keen that your property, if you're having a laptop through which you're doing the business with your partners, you are very careful that your laptop should not fall down. It should not be destroyed. It should not be damaged. But are you interested in club's property? It is not your property. It is club's property. So obviously you have to take care of the property. You don't have to scribble or you have to scratch the other's property, but you're not liable for their property. You're not responsible. If somebody is eating food on the other table, they have dropped it down. It is not your headache. It is club people's headache. So you're not interested in their property. Dissolution. When the firm is dissolved, the partnership changes. Partners are coming, partners are going, dissolution happens. Here, if the club is dissolved, the members may come and go. It does not affect its existence. So I am a member of one club. I might be a member of three more clubs. I might leave my membership. So club still continues to exist. It has nothing to do with the membership of the members. So a club has a different motive. It is not a partnership firm. So when you're joining any club, there you are paying the fees as a member. You're not having any partnership. You're not earning any profits. And co-ownership, we have already done about the co-ownership. What is the meaning of co-ownership? You have to tell me now. हमने सेल ऑफ गुड्स में भी पढ़ा है को-ओनरशिप, हमने आज भी पढ़ा है को-ओनरशिप. आप बताइए मुझे व्हाट इज को-ओनरशिप. Miss Kajal Sharma is asking difference between dissolution and winding up. So dissolution is the term used for closing up of the partnership firm. Dissolve कर देना, बंद कर देना, खत्म कर देना firm को, close कर देना. तो ये terminology partnership firm के लिए यूज होती है dissolve करना. कंपनी के लैंग्वेज में हम लीगल टर्म वाइंडिंग अप यूज करते हैं. दोनों का ही मतलब है टू पुट एन एंड. फर्म को हम डिसॉल्व करते हैं, कंपनी को हम वाइंडिंग अप वर्ड यूज करते हैं. Mr. Arun, which are you asking legal existence? Company has a legal existence. Partnership firm will not be having legal existence. LLP, yes, definitely it has its legal existence. Mr. Ardhendu Biswas, if the partners are dividing the profits, the losses are also to be borne by the partners. Then only it is considered as a partnership firm. Yes, Miss Punita, don't worry. I'll take up Companies Act also, don't worry. Goodwill is an intangible asset. How can be sold? Ariharan, go back to your accounts book and find how you sell the goodwill. Okay, you will remember when you revise your questions, when you pay the consideration for goodwill. Yes, Anil Yadav, we can say company is larger and bigger because it has more perspectives as compared to partnership firm. Co-ownership means where people are owning the things together, not acting as partners. Two or more company are correlated. No, Sakshi, we're not talking about companies, we're talking about co-ownership. Arun, that is what we are doing. There are differences between partnership and co-ownership, not similarities. Excellent answers, those who have given. HUF, Mr. Kharat Hemant, please wait for HUF. We are doing co-ownership. Club has a legal existence. Mr. Yash Shah, club is having an existence like a sole proprietor business, like a partnership business. Similarly, a club has their own business, which is considered to be an organization. But it is saying you as a member, you're not a partner in a club. It's a membership. Very good, Yogesh, Sanya, Muskan, Nanda, Rani, Sakshi, Arun, Renuka, all those who have given the answers for Sumaya, Neha, Divya, all of those have given beautiful answers for co-ownership. So that means jointly we are owning certain property, either by an agreement or by operation of law. Operation of law means there were two brothers. They had their sons. Mr. A had two sons. When Mr. A died, both the sons will inherit the property of their father. So that is by inheritance you have got. Agreement means you and me have made an agreement and signed an agreement. Remember that building and land plot in South X that we were owning? So we signed an agreement that we are purchasing this land, 15 lakhs, both of us paid, and we owned that land, joint ownership of 30 lakhs rupees, and then we were earning rent on it. Now, when we are earning such rent, it is not necessary we are earning the profits and losses. We are just having a relationship of co-ownership. We are just owning the property together. But in partnership firm, we have mutual agency. In co-ownership, you have no mutual agency. A and B are separate. They are different. They can do whatever business they want. They are not liable for each other. But under partnership, you are held liable for each other and your actions are also held. And the next one is association of persons. For example, you are staying in a society and all your society people got together to have a Diwali function. So all the members got together and they bought certain mithais, chips, buntings, crackers, everything. And they organized a Diwali function. Now, when all the people of the society got together for a certain event or a purpose, it is known as an association of persons. Those who were asking what is the meaning of association of persons, अब सुन लो ध्यान से. जब कुछ लोग इकट्ठा होकर कुछ काम करते हैं, छोटा मोटा बिजनेस कर रहे हैं, किसी पर्टिकुलर पर्पस के लिए इवेंट कर रहे हैं, उनकी इंटेंशन एक किसी काम को पूरा करने का. तो जैसे मैंने अभी एग्जांपल दिया, कुछ लोग इकट्ठे हुए, उन्होंने दिवाली फंक्शन के लिए अरेंजमेंट करी, डांस फ्लोर लगाया, पूरा एक्सपेंसेस करा, एंड रेवेन्यू एंड एक्सपेंडिचर जो भी था शेयर कर कर उसे बेयर करा. इसको बोलते हैं एसोसिएशन ऑफ पर्संस. दे आर नॉट पार्टनरशिप, दे आर नॉट डूइंग बिजनेस. हियर द इंटेंशन इज नॉट टू कैरी ऑन एनी बिजनेस. एसोसिएशन ऑफ पर्सन में आप बिजनेस नहीं कर रहे हो, आप सिर्फ एक इवेंट के लिए इकट्ठे हुए हो एंड आप वो काम पूरा करने के बाद फिनिश. But partnership may you're doing the business for the profits of the firm. Here, your example is to run a business. Here, you're doing religious or charitable kind of things. All right. So now association and partnership form, all the differences are clear, bacha? Yes, Mr. Nanda, partnership can be dissolved. Chapter number 3, we will discuss in detail about dissolution. Don't worry. Miss Devendra Amanchi, we will discuss about dissolution in chapter number 3. Inheritance, Devendra, means where you have inherited the property from your fathers and seniors, okay? Elders. I hope, Mohammed, it is clear now. Have you understood the meaning of association? Yes or no? Anuj Kumar, yes, the purpose is charity. Dev Kumar, non-profit organization, very good. Yes, Abhishek Chal says that yes, we have understood. Glad. So I hope no doubts in the points of differences till now. Now we'll be moving to the HUF. So association of persons means where you have come together to do a business. Thank you so much, Anushka. She's saying all the concepts wonderfully clear. Sakshi, Yogesh, Renuka, thank you so much. Wonderful. I enjoy when you have understood. Thank you, Kajal, all of you. Good. Okay, so association of persons is clear. Now let's move to the last differences between HUF and companies. So HUF is created by statutes. Means by creation of birth, you become the member of the family. HUF is a Hindu undivided family. It's a joint family business where you're doing the business. Yes, Mr. Kunal, thank you so much. Your comments are also visible. If you want to ask something, you can even ask because just now your name has popped up. Okay, Muskan says all the differences are clear. That's nice. Association में members liable होते हैं action के लिए. Neha Yadav, association में members are not liable for each of the sections. There is no agency principle that is present. Okay. All right. So in partnership, liability of partners is unlimited. However, the liability of Karta is unlimited. So what is the Karta? In HUF, you have a senior most member is known as the Karta. This is the name which has been given to him by law. So HUF is again very, very vast topic, but you have to simply remember a few points of differences. Examiner can simply ask you the points of differences between both of them, not much. So again, it is not a partnership. HUF is a joint family business that they're doing, which has not been divided. They're doing it together with their family. Whenever any member is born in their family, he becomes the member of that business. But in partnership, you have to sign an agreement. Number 2, all the partners have unlimited liability. Here only the Karta, the senior most member, have his liability unlimited. Others' liability is limited. Here the number of members should not exceed 50. But HUF can have unlimited number of members. Those who were asking, somebody was asking again and again, number of members in HUF. Here comes your answers. So HUF, you can have any number of persons depending upon how much population you want to increase. So if you have 2 members, 2 family, 2 brothers, they have wives and they have children, and then they get married, they have kids, and how the family is growing on, they can have unlimited number of members in HUF. There is no limit. Your family keeps growing and you have 10 kids or you have 20 kids, it is up to you. But in in partnership, you can have maximum 50 members. In partnership, minor, now this is very, very interesting, point number 4. In partnership, I told you can minor join a partnership firm? Yes, ma'am. You told us 2 points as of now that all the partners have to consent for it and he can only come for the benefits of the partnership firm. But in HUF, there is no question of minor. Minor becomes the member of ancestral business by birth and not by attaining majority. If a child, small baby, is born in Hindu undivided family, he becomes by birth only, he becomes the member. You don't have to wait for him to turn the age of 18 because he's a minor, he cannot be a partner. ऐसा HUF में ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. Because by birth only he has born in your family, so he has become part of your Hindu undivided family business. Is that clear? So other points of differences are very, very basic. You can read from the study material between HUF and partnership. Now is the time to test your knowledge. You have listened very nicely and patiently to today's lecture. I still remember auction sale is still pending, but then we are already involved in this right now. Let me complete these points and then we'll go over there. Mr. Omkar, definitely we'll share the question paper pattern also. And secondly, we'll try to do certain descriptive questions from June 2023 and November 23 paper as well. Right to demand accounts, Mr. Mohammed Farhan Sheikh. Right to demand accounts means you have a right to ask for the accounts of the firm. You have a right that you can ask for this, that I want to see the accounts, how the business has been going. No outsider, Mr. Mohammed Sabit. Only the members of the family of HUF can be considered as members, and out of them, one of them is chosen as the Karta. And outsiders means when the person gets married, a stranger comes and becomes his wife, then she also becomes the member of the HUF. Thank you, Mr. Nanda R. I'm so happy to read your comments. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying the session. Thank you, Mr. Arun Abhishek Jha. Thank you, Sanya Khan. Thank you so much. Now, the first question in front of all of you is the MCQ 1. Wear your thinking caps and answer me. The firm is the name given to the partners, to the minors in the firm, the business under which the firm carries on the business, or it is the collective name under which it carries the business. So what is the meaning of the word firm? Firm is the name given to what? Send me the answers for the first MCQ. Mr. Abhishek Dhiman, club is different from partnership firm where you have joined certain clubs like your gyms or other kind of clubs, institutions you can think. You don't become the member. Mr. Kunal is asking, explain again Santi Ranjan Das Gupta. Okay, once we end with the MCQs, then I'll explain you once more. Okay, I'm not getting your answers again. So 1D is the correct answers. Those who have given this answer, wonderful. It is the collective name given under which all the firm, all the partners will carry on the business. Mr. Kharat Hemant, I hope now your HUF doubt is clear. Unlimited number of members. Yes, 1D is the correct answer, children. All of those who have written 1D, that's the correct answer. Let's move to the second MCQ. What is the true test for partnership? Business, sharing of profits, agreement, or mutual agency? What is the answer for the second one? The true test for partnership is businesses. Yes, we should be doing business, sharing of profits, agreement, and mutual agency. So the correct answer in this one actually should have been all the 3 points, but it says mutual agency is one major thing, which is the conclusive evidence. So section 6 specifically talks about the cardinal principle that sharing of profits should definitely be there, agreement should be there, business should be there. But if one of the things which is still left pending, which has to be there in order to conclude, it is a partnership. Mutual agency is one such thing which has to be present. So those who were asking about Santi Ranjan Das Gupta, I'm explaining you that case law once again. What happened in Santi Ranjan Das Gupta was that there was a partnership firm. They said that we want to get ourselves registered in order to claim certain benefits as a partnership. So companies has their own rules and regulations, and partnerships have their own rules and regulations. So, but it was held when the Supreme Court said that you cannot be considered partnership because there were no certain records. They tried to find that whether you have signed the agreements, whether you have made all the arrangements, nothing could have been located. So, since there was no arrangements, no written things, so it was held that you cannot be considered as a partnership firm. Um, excuse me, at the technical support site, I cannot get the answers of the students. The site is not working. Excuse me, sir. I think there is some problem in the site of the admin. I can't get your answers, students. So the answers, I cannot see the answers. The site is not working, I think. I hope they can see my questions because I can't get any response. Okay. So this is the last question for the day in front of you. A, B, C are three partners. A purchased furniture for the business purpose from D. Can D recover this money from B and C as well? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am. And also, I want to know the answer why. Finally, your answers have now started coming. There was some problem in the site from the technical error. There was any problem. All right. Very good. All answers were correct. Mutual agency, you all have written. Concept of partnership deed, Mr. Sheikh, we will do when we do in the next class, partnership deed. 2D was the correct answer, and here, yes is the correct answer. Definitely. Wonderfully answered. Beautiful answers you all have given. Yes, ma'am, because the principle of mutual agency is present between the partners. Therefore, D can recover the money from any one of them because it is done for the purpose of business also. Very good. Mr. Brajesh Pali. First time I have read your name. That's wonderful. Your answers are correct. Prince Shahi, S. Sudhakar, Shamya Khan, Ariharan, Mohammed Sabir, Dev Kumar, Neha, Kajal, Abhishek Jha, Anil Yadav. All of you have sent correct answers. Anuj Kumar, Renuka, Deepti, Tapaswini, Yash Chua. Very good answers sent. Yes, Tambeshwari partners will also be liable to share the losses as they share the profits. So I'm here for 1 more minute. If you want to ask any doubts, please ask. So we have done MCQs also. The first three MCQs are done. All the points of differences we have done. Your homework is to learn all the points of differences between partnership and companies, HUF, give a fair reading to all the points of HUF also. Okay. Yes, Joa Praveen, your answer was correct. Satyam Kumar, Miss Heetal, all the partners will be liable. Very good. Sagufta, Sumaya, all of you are correct, children. So I hope you have understood everything. Thank you, Miss Divya. All your concepts are clear. That's great. Yes, Miss Anushka Raj. Now we'll try to cover it in the next class because it took us so long to complete this chapter only. So we will do Renuka auction sale in the next class for the first time. Initially, only we'll pick up that topic. Yes, Mr. MD Shah. Then he also becomes the member of HUF. Any person who is born in the house of HUF, he becomes his member. All right. Yes, other members, Mr. Anon, just explained you. That is how they can become the members of HUF. Thank you so much. I hope all your doubts are now clear and revise whatever we have done in today's class and see you all on Saturday. Goodbye, children.